Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the new Dokkan Fest STR Bojack, and we're going to be taking a look at him at 55% today on some different teams through some different events to see how he stacks up against a lot of the other recent Dokkan Fest units. So Bojack is a Space Traveling Warriors category leader, key plus 3, 170 across the board, or Time Travelers, key plus 3, HP attack and defense plus 150%. Initially when this guy came out on JP, one of the things that I was criticizing this unit for doing was not being a 170% leader for Time Travelers because we've been waiting for that for such a long time. But after seeing how good of a category the Space Traveling Warriors team actually is, I feel like him being a 150% lead for Time Travelers is not bad. If he was a 170% lead for Time Travelers and Space Traveling Warriors, I mean, that would probably be the best leader skill in the game. Maybe. But this is still a very, very powerful leader skill. His super attack effect is raise attack and defense for one turn and then does immense. So raising defense for one turn is going to be really, really impactful for this character just because of the fact that he's entering the turn with a super high defensive number already, that 30% number is going to carry him very, very far. The passive is Cosmic Ruffian, attack and defense plus 100%, Space Traveling Warriors category allies key plus 2, and attack and defense plus 30% when facing one or more enemies, plus an additional attack and defense plus 10% when facing 2 or more enemies, plus an additional attack and defense plus 10% when facing 3 or more enemies. So it gets more potent the amount of enemies depending on the amount of enemies you're fighting against. And this is a very similar passive structure to STR Cooler. You know, himself gets, I think it was 100%, and then he gives support buff to a certain category. The one thing I will say is this character is definitely more consistent than Cooler, just because of the fact that if you're fighting one enemy versus 2 or 3 or 4 or however many enemies, he's always going to be buffing the same category. For Cooler, if you're fighting one enemy, he's buffing Transformation Boost, but if you're fighting 2 or more enemies, he's buffing Terrifying Conquerors. So if you have characters in your team that are not on both categories, there's going to be instances where characters on those teams are going to only be receiving one of those 2 buffs. So in terms of consistency, I would say this Bojack is probably a bit more consistent than Cooler is in terms of his support role. Then his active skill is Transformation, and that can be activated when facing only one enemy, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle, which is fine. I feel like more often than not, you're not really going to transform with this character super often. I feel that his support role is much more impactful and important than his role as a transformed unit, but his transform state is very, very powerful as well. We'll take a look at that in a second here. So his links, I mean, he has the Heraclan Galactic Warrior package, which is the Bojack package. All level 1 links here, big bad bosses as well. So a lot of these links are what's going to just make this character look very, very, I guess, just ridiculous on his teams and effective. But we'll see that later on when we level up those links. But he's on a few categories. Actually, he's on 8, which is not bad. Space Traveling Warriors, Time Travelers, Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Full Power, Terrifying Conquerors, Inhuman Deeds, and Transformation Boost. A lot of these categories overlap with each other. Like I would say Space Traveling Warriors and Time Travelers, obviously it's under his same leader skill, so it's sort of the same team. Then you have Terrifying Conquerors and Transformation Boost. That's sort of Cooler's team all together in one. And those 2 categories even, I would say, overlap a lot with Space Traveling Warriors as well. So you can sort of link those 3 together. Movie Bosses is obviously a team that he's good with because you can run him alongside Trillis, who links up well with, Cooler, who links up well with, and then other Bojacks, LR Bojack. Even himself he can link up with, like the Cooler rotation where you have the untransformed version plus the transformed version of Cooler. You can do the same thing with this Bojack as well. Resurrected Warriors, the Angel Golden Frieza category, Full Power, and then Inhuman Deeds. But Inhuman Deeds, we don't really have a solid leader for that team yet. So Transformed, so let's say you activate the transformation. His super attack effect becomes it raises attack infinitely, so he's a permanent stacker. Then his passive becomes key plus 3, attack and defense plus 180%, launches an additional attack that is a medium chance of becoming a super attack plus 30% and defense plus 15% when attacking with 3 or more key spheres obtained, plus an additional attack plus 30% and defense plus 15% when attacking with 6 or more key spheres obtained. So what's important to note about this passive is that it does say when attacking, so that defensive buff that you're getting per the amount of key spheres that you collect isn't going to go into effect until you actually attack with the character. So let's say you start the turn with him at 200k defense transformed. Once you collect the key spheres, he's not going to get that additional defense until he super attacks or until he attacks. So that is something to keep in mind as well. But he's a very, very powerful, truck of a unit when you transform with him. Defensively, he's very, very powerful. Offensively, he's very powerful. The only downside to him transforming is he goes from a supporting role to a damage dealing / main rotation role. So that's sort of what Bojack is here, and then the links obviously remain the same here. So he can have 7 out of 7 links with himself if you link him with himself, similar exactly to how Cooler is. So in a way, he's very similar to Cooler, and the teams we're going to be running him on today are going to be his own team, so the Space Traveling Warriors / Time Travelers team. Then we also have the Movie Bosses team. I think this is what the team will bring into Super Battle Road here. But again, I want to have him probably linked up alongside the LR Bojack as well, because I want to have him with as many links as possible active. And then finally, we have the Resurrected Warriors team, which is Angel Golden Frieza's team. We can actually have him linked up, I think, alongside this Frieza. I believe he shares like 3 links with this Frieza. Let me just make sure. So let me just see. I know Big Bad Boss is obviously one of them. Fierce Battle. And then Thirst for Conquest, maybe? Fear and Faith? Let me just make sure. Yeah, Thirst for Conquest. So 3 out of 6 is not great, but it's also not bad at all. So that is what we will be doing in this video. Let's go ahead and jump into Super Battle Road right away. Alright, so we're going to jump into Movie Boss Super Battle Road here. I'm going to be using, obviously, this team right here, and I'm going to have Bojack linked up alongside the LR Bojack. I have the same setup that, on this team as well, where I have Bojack linked alongside LR Bojack. This is the reason why I didn't want to do that on this team. I don't want to have all 3 teams with him linked alongside the LR Bojack, just to give a little bit of a different take on what he can do without always being linked alongside another Bojack unit. But let's go ahead and jump in. So it's going to be Bojack and Bojack, and then I think we'll have Broly and Beerus as another rotation. Trillis will be floating around supporting, and then we'll have the LR Movie Broly also, Broly Trio supporting as well. So let's go ahead and jump in, see what our rotations look like, and that's pretty bad. These are pretty bad rotations. Alright, give me a minute to set up, and we'll be right back here. Alright, so here we are with Bojack finally on rotation, almost done with the first fight here. He is not obviously linked up alongside another Bojack. There's no support on rotation at all. Defense is at 90k, which actually is not as bad as you would think, considering I think the leader skill 100. I think it's 150% of defense. Yeah, it is. Okay, so 150% defense leader skill, no support. He has 1 link active in Fierce Battle, and remember, he's also getting 30% defense on the super attack. So he's gonna have about 120k defense after supering, which is actually not bad considering he's a 55% unit. So we'll see how well he's able to tank. Spoiler alert: it's not gonna be stellar here. So we'll go ahead and attack Krillin and see if we can take him out here. Probably actually won't be able to finish him this turn, but hopefully we don't die. So we'll go ahead and see what happens here. So he's taking 28k. Actually, that's not bad. 28k. Okay. It's a much big difference between this and ESBR for sure. So we're going to super. We should take double digits now. 270 damage. So there it is. Pretty solid tanking ability by Bojack there, even in very, very terrible circumstances. So we'll go ahead and jump into the next fight where we'll have our rotations finally set up the way we want them to be. Okay, so here we are in the second fight here. We finally have Bojack alongside the LR Bojack, and we'll take a look at his links here. He has 5 out of 7 links active. Obviously, Big Bad Bosses is not active, and Coward is not active either. So in terms of defense, we're looking at LR Bojack with 231k defense. Again, no items are active here. We have no support, and the STR Bojack's around 100k. So again, that's going to go up a lot higher once we get support. And I think this STR Bojack does fit the middle slot role pretty well because of the fact that he gets a lot of his defense from supering, so he'll be able to tank a lot better after that. So the Vegeta is stunned, so I'm going to actually go ahead and target Trunks with LR Bojack. So we'll go ahead and do this. This will be a nice attack from Bojack here. And then we'll give the STR Bojack the killing blow on this Vegeta here. And that should be good. The only worrying aspect of this rotation is if Goku decides to super Bojack in the second slot. It's going to do a lot of damage, but I think we should be able to tank it without dying. Of course, we have a lot of health. So let's go ahead and see how this plays out here. Yep, clearly able to tank that with no problem. He's at 5.2 million. I'm telling you, this LR Bojack is ridiculous with this, but with the STR1 linked alongside him. This is with, no, I mean, technically there's support, right, from the STR Bojack, but there's no third slot floating support unit on this rotation right now. It's pretty ridiculous that that's the case. So Bojack's going to take out Vegeta, and then the Broly AoE should be able to kill Trunks. Let's see what Goku does here. No super. 71k, yeah, that's a lot. Okay. This Bojack, by the way, was probably hovering around 130 35k defense after that super attack, by the way, so it's not bad. Okay, so here's where things are about to get a little bit crazy for LR Bojack, actually. So the lower health we have, the more defense LR Bojack gets, but the less attack he gets from his passive. We're entering this turn with like 20% health, and we have Trillis in rotation who's supporting both these guys because these guys are both on Terrifying Conquerors. Let's take a look at what LR Bojack's defense is. This is no items. I just entered this final fight here. LR Bojack is at 320k defense here. I would say that that's pretty good. And because of the fact that the Big Bad Boss is active, the STR Bojack is at 137k defense. So that's pretty powerful as well. Keep in mind, after he supers here, he's going to have something like 170k defense. So that's pretty good for 55% unit. And then, of course, we have LR Trillis in the back end, who's at 238k. We do have the ability to pop his active skill, which we'll do here in a second, but obviously we're going to have to heal here. So we'll go ahead and pop an item after this. Alright, and just so that we keep with Big Bad Bosses active, I'm going to go ahead and use a Princess Snake, which shouldn't push us over the limit, I don't think. I think it should, yeah, we're just below the 80% threshold there for the TUR Bojack here. So again, he has 6 out of 7 links active here. He's pretty much fully maxed out on this rotation. We're going to go ahead and completely annihilate this Gohan with LR Bojack here, give him full key. TUR Bojack will actually just also attack him in case he's still alive. And then Trillis, I guess we'll have you attack Trunks at the end there, that's fine. Trillis, by the way, his links active, Thirst for Conquest, First Battle, and Big Bad Bosses, all very powerful links, so he'll be doing a lot of damage as well. This rotation is, like, actually just dumb. 5 million from you with a 320k attack stat, that's pretty good, or sorry, defense stat. It's ridiculous. Yep. Plus he's buffing the rotation with that as well. That's the effect on that attack. Alright, and then the TUR Bojack is at 2.42. That's pretty good, actually. It's a good number there. With the defense as high as it is going to be after this. Yeah, that is pretty good. And then Trillis is at 6.59, super effective against all types, with the potential additional attack coming after this. Trillis is on a different level. Like, he's a different unit. Like, look at this. He can do another attack after this as well. I gave him more additional, so. Goodbye, Trunks. No additional, okay. So, there you go. I think we'll do one. If we don't kill these guys this rotation, we'll come back with one more rotation. We'll end Super Battle Road there. Okay, so we're entering the final rotation of the video. I did have to use a not Princess Snake, a Whis item in the last rotation, otherwise we wouldn't have made it out alive. But what I want to do here, actually, is I want to show... I'm actually going to do this. This may look a little bit weird. I want to show the defensive buff we're going to be getting from the Broly Trio from getting these orbs here. And the reason why I have to put Broly Trio first is because if I put them last here and then I grab those orbs, I'm obviously not going to be able to check the defense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, so we have 112k with STR, 265k with the LR1. So if I go ahead and grab these tech orbs right here, that's going to boost our defense. Now we're sitting at 131k with the TUR and then 304k with the LR. So pretty ridiculous numbers. And then we can go ahead and use it on Android 8 because again, it's a realistic scenario where you're going to be using items in these modes. Now we're at 158k with the TUR and then 443k with the LR. So these are numbers that you're going to see on these teams. I mean, these are not unrealistic rotations. Like, this is a rotation that you would use on this team realistically. So we're going to finish up the Super Battle Road run here, and we're going to go ahead and jump into a longer event. I think we'll use Bojack's own team there, and we're going to actually go ahead and transform him and have him go wild on there as well. So we'll see what he can do transformed. Alright, so jumping into the Android/Cell Saga stage of the Infinite Dragon Ball History event, we are going to be using this friend, who's also 55%, and his links are pretty much level 1, 2s, 1, 3 in there. Couldn't find one that was full level 1s, but this will do fine. Our rotations are going to be my Bojack, the LR Bojack, and I'll transform my Bojack to go along with that. And then we're going to do Cooler and First Form Frieza. And then obviously the Bojack, the Toa, and the Trillis will be floating, so this seems pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and jump in, see what our rotations look like, and see if we can get set up quickly here. So we're going to float off the LR Bojack in turn 1. Okay, so we'll be right back. Alright, so here we have not a very good rotation here. We're going to do this, and I'm actually going to have the friend stay on rotation for now. So in 2 rotations from now, we're actually going to be able to transform with my Bojack, have LR Bojack on rotation, and then also have the friend floating, which is going to give us a buff as well. So that will be this Bojack's best rotation, because we'll have all 7 links active. So go ahead and do this. Actually, that was a mistake. Oops. Whatever. He's going to die from... Frieza's going to kill him 1 hit anyway. Doesn't matter. We'll do this. And goodbye, Krillin. Alright, what does the friend do here? Like 1.3 or 1.4? 1.3, yeah. And Frieza is at 6 million. Okay, pretty good. Alright, so we are fighting one enemy. It is turn 4, which means we can go ahead and activate the transformation. I have this Bojack linked alongside the LR Bojack. So hopefully the LR Bojack doesn't kill him in 1 hit, but I want to see exactly what this guy can do with full links, transform turn 1. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so all 7 links active. Oh, except for Big Bad Bosses, yeah, because it's not leveled up. Damn, I forgot about that. Alright, well, he's at 133k. So, assuming we get 6 orbs, it's going to be going up by 15%, 15%, so 30% more than that. So that's roughly 170k defense. It's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and grab these. That should drop the yellows, which means I can get 6 orbs, hopefully. Yeah, maybe. Well, hopefully. Come on. There we go. 7 orbs for you, which is going to activate your full passive. And I'm just praying that LR Bojack doesn't kill him in 1 hit. And we'll give you this. Alright, Bojack, don't kill him, please. Please don't do it. 3.3. Okay. Nice, nice. So at 3.25, remember he has a, was it a high chance to do an additional super? So they're high or medium. We didn't even get to see it. Let's move on. Alright, so yeah, he has a medium chance to do an additional super attack, but it's a guaranteed additional normal at the very least. So we're gonna do... I don't think he gains any extra links there. He doesn't. Okay, so we'll put him there. We'll give him all these. Remember, he is infinitely stacking his attack as well. So this is not a character where, you know, we see 1 attack stat and then we can just end the showcase. Like, we can keep going with this guy and see how much he can stack up. So we'll give you this, and then Toa will give you that at the end. Alright, Bojack, what are you at now? Let's see. You are at 3.19. It's going to keep going up and up and up. So we can do 2 super attacks here. You cannot do a 3rd because obviously at 55% he doesn't have any additional invested. So there we go. This is for a 55% unit, that's pretty damn good. With the amount of defense that he has as well. And 5.3 from you. Okay. Okay, we'll move on. This is why I don't want to put him first, because he's just going to kill the enemy every time. Alright. So, fighting this Goku. He doesn't have that much health left, so I'm going to just go ahead and put this Bojack first again. If I put him first, I can get first battle with him in the middle, but the LR is going to kill him, so I'm going to have to put him first here. We can get 8 orbs there. We'll give LR Bojack these, and then Trillis will give you these, and goodbye Goku, you're dead. Oh, we actually healed up above Big Bad Bosses. Damn it. No, that was dumb. Because I got those STR orbs with Trillis. Okay, so we healed up above Big Bad Bosses, but still 3.4. Another? Nice. Perfect. Alright. So we're continuing to stack here. I think next turn I'm going to try and aim for Big Bad Bosses so we can finally see what number that would be as well. Alright, so we have Big Bad Bosses active here. I actually can't get 6 orbs, unfortunately, so we're going to have to show him here without his full passive active, but we have Big Bad Bosses, so it's sort of like a mix and match scenario. We're going to get the first part, but not this. We can get 3 orbs, but not 6, so we'll go ahead and grab that. LR Bojack will go ahead and give you this, so we don't heal above Big Bad Bosses again, and then the other Bojack will give you that. So what are you going to be at here with Big Bad Bosses without the second part of your passive? 3.61, so he is still higher than he would have been without Big Bad Bosses, but with the second part of his passive. Okay. So we'll try and get one more rotation here with the full everything active. Alright, so unfortunately we have Toa's passive activating, so we don't have Big Bad Bosses active here, but actually, you know what? I can put Toa in the front and have her get beat up a little bit. I think I'll actually do that. So Toa's passive, you don't know how it works. If you fall below 50%, she heals 50% HP and recovers... she heals 50% HP and she gives 50% attack and defense with all rotation. That's why we have these ridiculous defensive stats here right now. LR Bojack at 341k, the TUR STR1 at 160k, around there. So after we super, we're going to be at... what is that? Like 210k-ish defense. So hopefully we can get Big Bad Bosses active here. Hopefully he supers Toa in the front. So we're going to go ahead and do this. It's going to be a Dokkan attack as well with 6 orbs here. This is going to be a ridiculous attack stat, I'm telling you right now. So hopefully this works out. Please do a lot of damage to Toa. Super. No, he's not going to super me. There's no way. Alright, well, we tried. So no Big Bad Bosses, but we're still getting a 4.5 million attack stat. That's pretty damn good from this 55% Bojack. Keep in mind, you can do a second super as well. So, pretty good. Let's see what kind of damage we do here to Gohan. And a second super 4.71 or 4.74. So yeah, this guy's pretty good, huh? When he transformed him and you have him stacking up for a little bit, yeah, he's devastating. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into a Dokkan event, and that's where we'll wrap up the video. We'll use the Resurrected Warriors team, and we'll call it a video. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the Bojack Dokkan event here. We're going to be using the Resurrected Warriors team with the Angel Golden Frieza leader. So it's 150% leader skill, but we're getting 4 ki across the board, so an extra 2 ki for everybody here. And I want to have Bojack linked up alongside the Tech Transforming Frieza, because they do share 3 links, but you know it's not gonna be as potent as when he was linked up alongside the LR Bojack, just because he's not getting those Bojack specific links, Galactic Warrior and what was the other one? Galactic Warrior and Hera Clan. So I just want to show a scenario where he's not always linked up alongside the LR or another Bojack unit. So let's go ahead and do this, grab this. I mean, this is gonna be quick. Go ahead and grab this and do this. So rotations are looking pretty bad, as always. Who's surprised? I don't even know if I could get him linked alongside Frieza before we end the event. Look at this rotation. This is all of my floaters on this first rotation. Are you kidding me? Okay, great. Fantastic. Sure, we'll just do this, I guess. This. The one thing I wish they would implement is you could choose your rotations. Like, it just makes it so much easier. Because most of the time people just reset until they get the rotation they want anyway in these harder events. Not Dokkan events, obviously, because it costs stamina, but for like Super Battle Road and Legendary Goku event, people just normally reset the event until you get the rotations you want. That's what I do. I mean, I don't know. It seems like a waste of time when you could just implement a feature where you could choose your rotations. It's just, I don't know, it's stupid. But okay, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and transform my Frieza so we can just finish this very quickly. Alright. So we'll go ahead and just have you annihilate this guy. You can do this. And Bojack will do... Now, keep in mind that these Friezas are not on Terrifying Conquerors. So they're not getting the buff. Or not, sorry, not Terrifying Conquerors. So they're not on... For whatever reason, they're not on Space Traveling Warriors. I don't know why they're not on Space Traveling Warriors. How is like Jiren and Toppo on Space Traveling Warriors and this Angel Golden Frieza isn't? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's weird. He should be on there, but he's not. So they're not getting the buff from Bojack. Alright, so this Frieza's going to transform. We'll go ahead and keep him on main rotation. What does he look up better with here? Doesn't matter. Sure, we'll just start attacking you. Do this. Then you can do that. Fine. Boy, this really did not turn out well, huh? rotation-wise at all. Actually, this might be the worst possible scenario for my rotation for this team. Of course. All right. So, okay, at least we're not killing them too fast, so we have a chance to actually see the rotation that I want to show you. So we'll take her out. Back to this rotation. I'll put you there. Have you attack him. Golden Frieza will do this. And then Metal Cooler will have you do that. It's fine. Alright, so next turn we can finally do what I want to do. And you're sealed. Great. Okay, 5.7 for you. That's pretty good. Plus his defense is probably like 250k or something like that as well. Alright, let's see if you can take him out. You don't. Okay. So we're going to transform into third form. We're transforming into third form Frieza before we even get our rotations established. That's really bad. So we have Thirst for Conquest and Fierce Battle active. Obviously, Big Bad Bosses would be active if we had it leveled up here, but actually, Link to them in the middle. Nah, you still have Thirst for Conquest. Okay, so 105k defense. Keep in mind he's getting an extra 30% on super attacks. That's going to be roughly, what is that, like 140k defense-ish when he supers. So that's pretty good for 55% on 150% leader skill too. So we'll go ahead and super you, and we'll move on to the next phase. His damage number here is not going to be impressive. I'm telling you right now, it's probably going to be like 1.4 or something like that. Yeah, 1.47. So in the damage department, he can lack a little bit, but he's not really meant to be doing damage. That's not what his role is here. So, all right, we'll just zip through this one real fast. Let's do this. All right. $2.48 for you. And then Golden Freeze is about to hit like 5.5 or something. Yeah, he should be able to kill Bojack here pretty easily. Yeah, 5 million. Goodbye. Alright. So, this is the final phase here. We can actually go ahead and transform if we want. No additional links with Metal Cooler there. In terms of defense at 105k, and once again, I'm actually going to go ahead and transform just so we can see a different number here. Alright, so now we're at 125k defense, though once we super we're going to be at like 170 or maybe a little higher than that. So, well, we can't get all 6 orbs actually, so no, we won't be. Let me put you in the middle, see if we can finagle this a little bit. If we do this, no. If we do this, no. This is the best chance. Nice, we've got lucky. Okay, so 7 orbs there. And again, this is going to be his best turn on this team, I guess. Again, I wouldn't really transform him on this team. Honestly, I wouldn't even run him on this team, but I just want to give a different perspective as to what he can look like on other teams that aren't just like, you know, the Bojack specific teams. So we'll go ahead and do this, and this probably won't finish him. So we'll probably have to finish him with Golden Frieza next turn, but that's fine. $2.56, plus we can get an additional super here. Damn, it's a normal, okay. Alright, well, I guess we will wrap things up here. I want to make sure I actually get this event done because I still need the medals to awaken Zangia. But Bojack, I would say, looks pretty good in this showcase. He didn't look like overwhelmingly powerful or anything like that. But keep in mind, I think if you're summoning for this character, you probably shouldn't care about getting dupes right now. This is a character where most of his value is coming from his leader skill and his support capabilities. So you don't need dupes to make those aspects of this character stronger. And then that, because of that, you don't really benefit like an immense amount from dupes. So again, I would not recommend going more than 1 copy. If you pull 1 copy, instantly stop summoning. That's my recommendation for you guys. If you guys are summoning at all in this banner, I know a lot of people are skipping, which makes sense. But All right, we will go ahead and wrap up the showcase there. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next one.